What's happening, YouTube? Anthony on Power Rangers Lost the Galaxy fan film with a brand new PRLostGalaxy2014 review. And today we are taking a look at my latest Halo Spartan Collection figure. This time we're taking a look at Spartan Rogue. And he is my latest brand new Spartan figure in the Spartan Collection for Halo. So got him off of Amazon for about 34 bucks, I think. I can't remember because I gotta go over the receipts and orders of how much I paid for these figures. So what we have here is Spartan Rogue, because, you know, thinking about it, because I had reviewed Spartan Mark 7 not so long ago. You got red versus blue now, so I thought, all right, let's do that. So here's the front of the package, what it looks like. You got all of his accessories, including an energy sword, all the different hands, and then you have his brute shotgun. So he's like one of the few Spartans that will get that gun. So I mean, of course, any Spartan will use that weapon, because now that once you get all these figures and get all these weapons, you got almost all the weapons that every Spartan in Halo would use, especially during, like, you know, multiplayer. If you want to kill somebody on a team deathmatch or one-on-one thing in the multiplayer, but you get what I mean. So you got a brute shot, energy sword, different hands. All right, but we'll go over all of those when we unbox them and take a look at the figure. Okay, now that we got Spartan Rogue out of the package, let's take a look at his accessories, and then we'll go over the figure and see how he stacks up with my other Spartan figure. First, let's take a look at these interchangeable hands, which you can switch out from. So look at all these different hands. You got hands where he's pointing fingers, you know, pointing directions where to go. Then you got hands that are balled up and fists like he wants to punch somebody, like one of them in my hands. And then there's another balled fist, and then another hand where he's pointing, and then a hand where he's holding some type of a weapon grip hand. So you got that hand. Then you had this brute shotgun. The brute shotgun is a brand new weapon accessory, you know, for my Halo collection. So it's nice to have this weapon, and plus this part of the gun is plastic, so plastic rubber, so you can feel that rubber texture on the back and even on the front with this little hook, you know, this little crowbar little piece. And I think this is a authentically well crafted what am I trying to say? This does look straight and close to how it looks in the games, even though I don't think I've ever used this weapon, have I? It's close to what it was in the games, though, if the colors are just about right, even for the figure. I'm really more excited, and one of my most excited weapons, you know, included in any of these figures is the energy sword, because, you know, I love, you know, when I play Halo, anytime that energy sword is somewhere, I always pick it up and want to stab a Covenant or anybody during multiplayer and just strike them with it. And I do like how translucent the energy sword is. If only the energy sword wasn't just a, you know, the silver color for the plastic and some parts of it being purple. But usually when I think of the energy sword will usually be blue and purple, but I guess, well, silver and purple color will be just fine for the plastic on this thing. But although the sword is rather plastic, you know, way more translucent and plastic, while the handle grip is just regular solid plastic, it's a very flimsy energy sword for the figure. And now we take a look at the figure itself for Spartan Rogue. So he has all of the different colors to represent the American flag, red, white, and blue, with this white line on the upper arm of the suit. And then you got red on the top of the helmet and on the shoulders of the suit, the armor. And his entire suit is all blue and black. So he has that color shit, because I think that's what got me want to get this figure, was because, yeah, he had the energy sword and that brute shot. But when you look at his suit, it's really like, he's like a really rather heavy character. Probably second being whenever I get other characters from the Spartan Collection in Halo as much as possible. But he actually is very heavy in weight, especially when you feel the weight on the guy. I really like the shade of blue on him. Probably the most definitive shade of blue on him, just like in the games. And it's supposed to be the same type of blue that he was in the game, and the figure captured that very perfectly, though his shade of blue does match my blue background a little bit. And also, like, look at his visor. So take a good look at his visor. It's meant to be squint and small, because every Spartan's helmet visor is going to be unique and different, as opposed to similar to Master Chief. Just everything about him just looks good. So now let's take a look at his articulation. Well, before that, before we do his upper area, I do want to take a point out about his legs being extended. So as you should know, his knees very extended. So you got like this joint here and this like this, and the same go for like on this leg too. So you got these extended knees on his legs. And then as take a look at his articulation for like all his joints, like toe flip. If you can get a toe flip, I don't think you can get much of a toe flip on this guy, as opposed to, I think this is just like on my figure. So you can't really do much toe flipping on this guy, unlike Spartan Mark 7 and Master Chief. Unfortunately, you can't do on that one. But you can, however, turn his head around great and well, just like all the other figures. His head won't tilt all the way up and down, just like I did Mark 7. So unfortunately, can't do that with Spartan Rogue. But you can, however, do elbow crunches. But though the elbow crunch is, well, due to the armor on the bicep, on his arms, you're not going to do a full-on elbow crunch on both his arms, unfortunately. So you can't do that. But you can spread the legs around, and then, like I already showed, we can do the knee crunch on these legs. But I don't know why this is like, what's up with that gimmick? But you can swivel and tilt his abdomen left and right and up and down too, so you have that articulation. Now let's take a look at Spartan Rogue with an energy sword. So I already took a photo of this prior to recording this portion. So here's Spartan Rogue and the energy sword is not going to go all the way into the grip. I think I need to get a better hand for that in order for it to work. So let's take this default hand out. See if this hand will work holding. Now I wish that if the thing, well, let's see, this is the energy sword hand, so it should go through between that little needle piece to the sword, so you got the sword right in the proper hand, because this default hand is like usually for when I have him holding that gun, so it was not going to work with the hand with the energy sword. I think Rogue Spartan looks badass with the energy sword, and I think this is actually worth something why I had to get this figure, because he had the energy sword. So I thought, first Spartan to have an energy sword in my collection. So here we go with that. And then have him stand up posing like this. And then there you go. Now let's see how he stacks up with with Spartan Mark 7, and you got your red versus blue, just like in that Rooster Teeth Halo miniseries thing of red versus blue. So any red versus blue will do in the Spartan collection, and I definitely got to take a photo of this. And there you go. Red versus blue, people. There you go. So in conclusion, Spartan Rogue is a good figure, and even though he hasn't has some weak joints, I do like the paint apps, I do like the articulation, but some of the joints, especially on the legs, are not really that good, and even the joints on the legs, joints on the feet is not all that good. But other than that, he's still a good figure, though. I mean, he's not one of my favorite Halo figures, but he is somebody I wanted to add into the collection because I need some red versus blue going on in my collection. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time with a brand new review.